What makes these films so unique and so extraordinary is how much of it is truly real. I think the audience knows when they're watching something real versus when they're watching something on green screen, no matter how well done it is.
Primarily my goal on a day-to-day basis is to help the filmmakers understand how they can film things in camera. So avoiding work is what I'm trying to do.
It's really important in mission movies that we're not doing a lot of CGI. We don't have other stunt people do this. Those sequences, the way that they're shot, you need that actor to do it.
We're able to put you right in the action through the point of view of the main character because Tom Cruise is there doing all of that action.
This film has no visual effects. That's the idea. We do everything we can to allow Tom and Chris to film everything for real.
They're a wonderful challenge to make and to kind of invite filmmakers and artists to come in and create this kind of world and do very practical kind of action. We're kind of tipping our hat to an analog filmmaking.
This is the scaffold gun. Our leading character comes in and starts to look around and has to find a sniper rifle. And so she selects this piece of scaffolding, she pulls it apart, it reveals the weapon. It's quite a pretty little rifle, semi-automatic, and it's built off an M1 carbine, a weapon that was used in the Second World War. So Chris wanted for one of the other assassins, he wanted a weapon disguised as a musical instrument. There is the cleaning rod, and that goes into the back here and becomes a stock. It opens, that's where you would chamber the rifle. So you place your round in there, you lock it, and then that's the position.
All the props that go on the set make it feel real and very, very pertinent to the story that we're telling. Those things make a space come alive.
Personally playing Benji, I love all the gadgets and stuff. I love walking onto set and seeing the kind of weird gizmos that either that have been meticulously constructed and are brilliant sort of practical props, or like the other day we had to figure out a way to open a door and someone just gave me a washer and said there's a computer in that, and that works just as well.
We've programmed a motherboard that's within the machine to actually do those three maneuvers. The whole machine is completely scratch built and a long time and a lot of heartache, but hopefully it's worth it.
There's something that has nothing to do with how it looks that is, I think, critical to an audience's experience. It's simply the reality and authenticity of it. It's not, can it be made to look good, because we all know it can, but for me, you want to capture the moment with a camera when it's happening.
We have a sequence in which Benji puts the mask on and becomes someone else, something that he's aspired to do since the last movie.
Well, that's easy. We just impersonate the agent who stole the ledger in the first place, and I get to wear a mask.
I had seen it done in other movies and seen it done quite well. I wanted to do it in a way that was completely different. And to me, the only way that became evident was to do it all in camera, without the use of visual effects. That, of course, presented its own special challenges.
This effect is often relies on CG. So how can you do a mask-off shot practically and do it in camera and don't touch it?
When we were standing on set and deciding how we were going to do it, I suddenly had the idea of doing the entire sequence in a mirror and building a false set that would allow us to have each actor sitting on either side of that mirror, pantomiming one another so that the whole thing could be captured in camera without the use of any special effects whatsoever.
It was a fun shot because A, it took a bit of planning, B, we had to actually act it out, but it's a visual effect that's in camera. It's still a visual effect, yeah? It's kind of old school smoke and mirrors. How would Hitchcock have done this if he could have done it before computers were available?
It's not CGI, and I still get asked.
The wall between the two, the hero room and the mirrored room, we just had a hole cut where the mirror goes. We put the surround, a mirror frame up on the wall, and then made sure that all the dressing on both sides was the same but mirrored. Even 60 books in there all have their spines reversed, so that in the mirrored set, if we ever catch it, you'll see that actually it looks like the reflection in a mirror. And the final piece that really, really sold it was putting a double of the edge of the mirror frame on the back side, spaced slightly, and immediately that one detail totally sold the set.
And action!
When we were shooting it, I became quite confused because I was looking at it on the monitor. I had to be outside of the room. The body double was pulling on Simon's mask too hard. And I kept directing Tom and saying, Tom, you're pulling on the mask too hard. He said, I'm pulling on it too hard? I said, yes, you're pulling on it too hard. And Simon turned and looked at me and he said, you realize Tom's over there and not over here. And I thought, well, I guess this gag is going to work because it fooled me.
The disadvantage of having visual effects is there's oftentimes sterility to what you're seeing because there isn't the authentic sort of messiness of what is real. And so I think that when you can film the thing in a real space with real actors, do it.
The process on the floor, for me, that is my favorite. It's that excitement of it's happening, you know, when it's right there in front of us.